right, we're going to start off with introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Judy Pratt.
And I'm John Pratt.
And you live in Lighthouse Point.
Yes.
Your address is actually 1 Spring Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And for full disclosure purposes, I was a former neighbor down the street of you guys. Looking outside, you would think that a bomb dropped. Tell me what happened on late Monday night.
Well, it was after 11. John had gone to bed, and I was sitting here reading and watching television back and forth. And I heard around 10 past 11, I could hear somebody yelling. But I wasn't sure what was going on. I was afraid maybe there was a fight out somewhere, so I didn't really react immediately. But then it got to sound really frantic, and I went out the back door just in time to see one of the trees at the back of the trailer just turn into a plume of fire right up, and I couldn't see much of what was going on back there. But it was the gentleman next door. He had tried himself to stop the fire. He was hosing it down, and it just got away from him. I tried to get my hose out, but it's been laying in the grass too long and it got grown over.
Okay.
I called 911 and they'd already received the call, and I ran out to try and grab stuff, and an officer told me to get out, and I woke John up, grabbed the car keys, and took the truck and moved it out of the way. And everything just went, the trailer all of a sudden just was completely involved. Within moments, it had already shrunk down. But it burned for a long time because of all the plastics. It smelled awful.
Okay. Now we're referring to number 2 Spring Drive, and
yeah.
I'll take some video footage on the way out. I want to zoom the camera around here for a minute because this is your window, and this is just one. This is actually at the front end of the trailer, and all the way down the side of your trailer, when I came out and took still pictures on Tuesday, it looks to me like the glass exploded and some just literally melted. You've got, your blinds are still hanging, and from the heat they have just melted.
I think the glass threw so much heat because there's not too much inside damage except for where the fire department had to pull out insulation and things like that to make sure there was no fire in between.
Right.
Most of the glass actually is broken because of the firemen.
Okay.
But the heat from what glass there was, I have no lovely scalloped Venetian blinds designer.
And you've got them, and they match going all the way down. So, look, I asked you the other day, actually I think it was yesterday, and you told me that with all the damage, the house next door is completely destroyed. I mean, it's just a melted mound of aluminum. You said that you're thankful that no one lost their life. No one got hurt.
Of course, yeah. The gentleman next door was in the roughest shape because I guess he had a little smoke damage to himself. And, of course, he was extremely upset. But, I mean, we're upset too, but we're fine. We're fine. Thank
John,
God.
when Judith wakes you up and tells you that the house next door is on fire and yours could be, what's the first thing that went through your mind?
Yeah. Put some clothes on.
But you just answered my question about, do people really stop to think about putting on clothes before they run from a fire?
Yeah.
I did, and I grabbed my shoes, and the cop told me to get out.
Okay. You know, I know from living here for a couple of years that your truck's always parked in your driveway under your carport. And when I walk outside, we'll get some shots of your little shed in the back that looks like the fire just totally gutted.
It melted it completely, yeah.
how did you even think, with everything else that was going on, how were you clear-headed enough to even think to get your keys and get the truck out from under the carport?
That's what I just always think. Get the truck out of the way. I wanted it out of the way because I didn't know what they were going to have to do. As soon as I moved it, or as soon as he moved it, I was thinking, oh God, that's a good thing. First off, it could have exploded. And secondly, I need that truck.
And that's where I'm going to go. I'm glad you referenced you need the truck. You need your home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And living in Lighthouse Point, this is a age-qualified community. It's a community that has certain requirements, be it the property owner or the homeowners association. The entire north side of your home has some extensive damage that's going to cost money to repair it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's my understanding you're both on a limited income.
Mm-hmm. I'm both retired.
And I know just from personal experience with Equity Lifestyles that they're going to put a timeline. You know, you only have so much time to get this fixed. How are you doing it now? I understand a gentleman named Mike Blancato has offered to help free of charge, but it's still going to cost money for materials. I mean, you're going to need some help.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we are typical, I suppose, low middle class. We live in paycheck to paycheck. And if something interrupts that, it's a big thing.
With the debt.
Yeah, and I understand it's hard to get insurance on these mobile homes because, like I said, when I owned Nine Spring, I could not get anyone to insure it. After going through this personally, firsthand, do you think maybe these communities would think twice about putting the homes so close together? Do you think if maybe there was a little more space between number 2 and number 1, maybe you wouldn't have suffered as much damage?
Well, that's very problematic. We were very lucky because there wasn't much of a wind that night, and it was a north wind blowing down towards us. I think if there'd been no wind, we would have no damage. As far as...
But what if there had been a gusty wind coming out of the north?
It would be completely gone. It would be in the same condition across there. I think most of these communities were built 40, 50 years ago with 40, 50 years ago's understanding of what was needed. Times have changed, but they can't just go around and pull people's houses down because they're too close to the person next door.
No, I understand.
A new community, I think they probably would. They probably would have bigger lots too, depending on the sizes of your mobile homes.
How long have you and John lived here?
2005, July.
2005, it's 2013, 8 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, let's walk outside.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the damage.
And she used to put my sneaks back on.
And of course, your quick thinking kept your nice, beautiful red truck. I'm gonna walk over on the other side and get a wider angle. So this frame over here is basically what used to be your neighbor.
Yes, that little pile of aluminum and melted plastic.
Yeah, and I see number 3. His aluminum just melted there on the siding.
Oh no, I think that's plastic,
Is it?
but it bowed his aluminum. The heat kind of popped it out.
You know, that is absolutely amazing to see that much damage.
Yeah.
Now this is your this used to be so nice and pristine white and clean, and I'm afraid to ask what you lost in it, but now you're saying that the fire department themselves had to pull some of this aluminum off?
Yeah, to check and make sure that there was nothing underneath the aluminum because the heat was so bad. It kind of toasted everything.
Yeah, I'm looking even down at the end over there. You've got all of these little bubbles from the heat.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and they had to do that. And after that, they went around with some kind of a thermometer type thing to make sure that there weren't any hot spots still.
Okay.
They did a good job, and the police department was great too. Very compassionate.
Well, I see one area up in the roof
Yeah.
that's going to have to be fixed, or else you're going to have some water damage
Yeah.
right up in there.
Right in the corner.
Now this whole side's going to have to be replaced, basically.
Mike said that
The
they
back,
would have to put in all new aluminum siding here.
yeah.
And a
that's
couple
gonna-
of windows are going to have to be replaced.
I was going to say this one I know is busted out.
This one's okay, but that one, the glass is broken, which is nothing but the frame.
The frame, yeah.
So we'll need a new window there, and I think one of the windows that are covered with plastic now. And the new window in the door, but hopefully the door itself will just need to be cleaned up and repainted.
Let me get a shot with you guys over here.
Okay.
All right, now I want to put this story up because I know that there's people out there that are in a little better shape than we are.
But there's people out there that are in worse, believe me.
And I understand that. It's November. November, people celebrate Thanksgiving. I think you guys have already started celebrating what you're thankful for. And I think one of the things would be you're thankful that you're still alive, and you're thankful that you really do still have a roof over your head, though needing some,
At least it's there.
yeah. And I think that's the crux of the story here, is that you are thankful. And when I came over to ask you to do this interview, you just really inspired me, because the first thing out of your mouth was, you know, nobody got hurt, nobody lost their life, we're all alive. It wasn't, oh my God, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix that? I think it's cool that Mike's offered to help. I want to get, I want to get some more people that are in the position to offer to help. I'd like to see if we can't get somebody to help get this done, so that when you're celebrating Thanksgiving, you're celebrating with a whole home.
No, that would be wonderful, but
If people are out there and
takes
are
time.
capable of reaching out to you, how do you want them to contact you? Do you want them to contact you directly? Do you want them to contact Sandy through the office? How do you want people to contact you if they're in the position to help?
if Sandy wouldn't mind,
Okay.
she's a little better set up to, but I don't want to give her too much extra work either.
That's okay. I don't have a problem doing that.
I'm sure she knows it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem doing that. She's been a bit testy with me lately. No,
Yeah.
just joking. She's a good friend. Let me get this story up. Let's see what we can do.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank
Yep. Thank you.